I've been in your shoes, the ones that are searching for a job. So just a question, who is searching for your first job in Norway here? Yeah, still a lot. Yeah. So I was definitely on your shoes. I moved to Norway when I was 36 years old, 10 years ago, and I had a very long background. Before I worked for, I'm an engineer. I studied industrial engineering and business administration, and I worked in different areas, from logistics, planning, production management, plant manager. I was head of operations in Africa as an expat of a Portuguese company, and then I decided, well, it's too much to be an expat. You push yourself too hard, the company pushes you too hard, and then I just decided to, I took a 6-month sabbatical, and then I said, why not to try a country that could give me a better work-life balance. So that was the purpose. No girlfriend. They didn't come for the money, didn't come to steal the oil, no. No, mostly I realized that my life was going, I think, handling too fast, not having, almost like private life, I came with that goal. But then I had several challenges. I just knew 2 persons that moved to Oslo 6 months before me. One of them was still searching for a job, so we helped each other. But I didn't have the opportunity that you are having here. So really seize this opportunity. I think you can learn a lot. The platform is, I think, it's much better than when I started 4 years ago, and the network has grown. So try to use this experience. I recently, a few months ago, in the same month, I got two messages from 2 mentees. Both of them, they were not in Oslo. They asked me if I could mentor, but I said, well, I don't mentor more than 1 person at a time, otherwise I cannot. But they just sent me the CV and asked me, and in 15 minutes, I think I gave them, at least they thanked a lot. I gave them some good tips. So try to use the network that you have here. And when I was searching for a job, I came as a head of operations. So I tried to use all my skills, because I forgot to mention, I almost never had to find a job before. My first job was straight from university, using through an internship, and my second job was just, I wanted to move abroad from Portugal. I called a friend, and he said, yeah, this company is really looking for people that want to move abroad. So I got a cafe interview with the CEO of the company, and I was there. So I didn't really need to search for a job until I moved here. Then I thank you for all the good tips, that some of them so I'm not going to repeat myself. You are an expert, I'm not. I work with IT today. I'm a product owner in Norsk Hydro. For the ones who don't know, it's a huge Norwegian company. And when I moved, I had a dream, because I had this industrial background, and I realized I was not that sure, but of course I did one thing. I could afford to do that. I traveled to all the capitals of the Scandinavian countries, and I spent 2-3 weeks in each city to see which city had a better vibe, or which city I could relate more. Of course, the fact that these friends were living here and I could stay at their place helped. So I based myself here. I started to look for a job. It took me 6 months to find a job, so it was not easy. I also changed from plan A to plan B. I started to adjust, but I was very active, or I tried to be very active. So I did things like I joined social network groups. I started to contact directly recruitment companies. It's something that I really encourage you to do, because that's their business. They make profit out of you, out of us, right? So I managed to have a few meetings and kind of assessments from them. So actively contact them, go on LinkedIn and try to send messages, even try to call if you find some contacts. The recruitment companies are here also to be a bit of a bridge. I use those companies a lot, because the only way I found a job was mostly through oil and gas business. My dream companies were Yara, Norsk Hydro. I remember passing by Their headquarters are by the fjord, close to Lysaker, so it's really beautiful. And I remember going from Fornebu, walking 20 kilometers way and back. I love to walk, I love to exercise, and I saw the headquarters and said, one day I may be here. And here I am. It was not my first job, so as I said, I worked for oil and gas first. I found the job due to two things. One was networking. So I knew someone that told me, oh, these guys are, I know your skills, I've worked with you before, so these guys are looking for someone that knows about welding and painting of structures. So then I contact them, and I managed to get an interview with the head of engineering, and the guy, after the interview, then he told me, yeah, it seems you know those two fields, but I guess you could be a good project manager. So for me it was really a surprise, because I'm not a very technical person. My career went through managing teams, managing a plant. So basically I found that job as a project manager. And there's another recommendation. And I see most of you are quite young, but for the more experienced ones that move to Norway, be prepared, let's say, to give one step back in terms of your career. Okay, I was even on some interviews where I was denied because they said, you have too much experience. You are going to steal my job soon. Yeah. One of the persons I remember at, well, they don't exist anymore, General Electrics for oil and gas. I could see in his face that, no, I don't want this guy because he will steal my job soon. So try to be humbled, you know, and also the culture is very important for the ones that come. I kind of easily started to understand the working culture and what Norwegians evaluate when they choose a candidate. One of the main characteristics is trust, right? When I was thinking about this presentation, was just I saw a post from Petter Stordalen. Maybe some of you know him. He's the owner of, among other businesses, of a hotel network. Hotel chain, and he said something, was not his quote, but he said that trust takes a lot of time to build, but you can lose it in one day. So be the person that you would like to trust from the other people, right? So and it's true, trust is very important, and I experienced this at work. I've seen people, especially a few foreigners, that did not get that trust from a Norwegian, and the guy, or that person, put him completely aside. He said, I lost trust on you. So please be honest with your CVs, with your cover letters. They will catch you sooner or later, so it's very important. They use a lot of your references. At least the 2 times I had to find a job, they call the 3 references, so it's important that you choose good references. And as I like to say, applying to a job is almost like in sports, you know, when you are, if you are a tennis player or if you are a coach of a football team, a handball team, you need to study your opponent. Here it's not an opponent, but it's someone that you want to win his trust or her trust, right? Or you want to get the job. So study pretty well the company, do a lot of research about the company values, the company mission. Try to find networking. If you find someone on LinkedIn that work on that company, ask that person what type of employees they have, what they search, you know. Do a lot of research on the company. I like to focus on that. And then, of course, when you are applying, I think you should be also selective. If you have a company that you like a lot, that you like to work, don't apply to the first job you have. I did that, for example, I tried to do that with Yara, with Statkraft, even with Norsk Hydro. I think I applied once back in the first, because when I moved to Norsk Hydro it was quite easy. I was not happy with the company. The first job I applied, I got the job. So that's also a promising sign. If you step in, if you have a foot mark in Norway, as it will get much easier. So definitely try to find an internship if you don't find a job. I think I mentee so far 4 people. With Jean-François is the 5th, and 2 of them they got an internship. They pushed, they applied. It was hard for them to find a job, so they got an internship, and one of them at least is working now. So yeah, try to not aim for the best job you can get in the beginning. It's important that you get a job first. And be organized. You know, use this platform because it is going to help you. Use the mentors; they will help you to structure. They will give you probably confidence. That's what I try to do the most, is to give you confidence. I often put myself on the. I'm not a recruiter, but I try to, as I'm mentoring mostly engineers, I know what an engineering, a leader, a manager on engineering department will search for a candidate. So I try to put myself also on that shoes. So I try to test a bit the abilities of the mentees. Yeah, well, shortly, it's for sure you can share my contact. I'll be around for the next hour. So if you have any question, please ask me, and yeah, please share my contact. And thank you. Yeah.